Good morning. My app are back. Here's the plan. The pool is again going to be transformed today. Ooh, can't wait. We'll be talking espadrilles. What? Yeah, espadrilles. Stick around. Little bit more work to be done over the columns for the front of the house canopy before the roof crew can come back in. There's going to be more plastering, there's going to be more of all sorts, electrical, blah, 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 all sorts. What could possibly go wrong? This morning, it's still a bit grey and miserable at the moment, so this isn't going to come out brilliantly, but it should be better than last night. These soffits are apparently in the Philippines known as espadrilles. Thank you to Canopy for that one. Jerry Mortley, what a good question, actually a very good question, said, would there be any kind of ventilation holes in the espadrilles? And I spoke to the builder this morning. The answer is yes. He described them more as small channels, I think, rather than holes, but it'll have the same effect of ventilation. The pool crew working on the pebble dash on the bench, and I'm told they'll be doing this floor inside the sunken seating area as well. It'll look totally different by the end of the day. Thank you to everyone who put comments in about the finishing of these bridges. There was a long discussion with the builder and my wife this morning, and she has decided we're going to stick with the pebble dash, but it will be the darker pebble dash. And that'll be for all of the bridge. It'll be the surface, it'll be the walls, sides and top. I think we were getting worried that in the end there might be too many different surface finishes around the pool. And the idea of stone, or as much as I like it, and a number of the comments said they like that idea as well, it just maybe seemed a little bit too many different finishes to us. So yes, this will be different because it's the dark pebble, the dark cement for the pebble dash, but it should, I think, complement the rest of the pool quite well. And that really just leaves the waterfall, and that is going to be tiled, and I'll show you the tiles right now. It's the same ones that we've used here on the walls of the sunken seating area. So again, we're not mixing and matching too many different surfaces. Hopefully you put all this together and it will work. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out. And the last thing on the pool, I like cruise ships, put in a comment, and I've seen a similar comment maybe once or twice in the past, but some time ago, about shade. And were we thinking about putting some kind of umbrella over this seating area? Well, the hope is, and we don't know if it's going to work, the hope is that when we put a tree into here and over there, the hope is that that will give us sufficient shade. It may not. It may be that we still need an umbrella of some sort, but we're hoping to avoid that if we can. Well, yesterday when I said I thought this frame was done, I was still wrong. There's a little bit more still to be finished. They're putting in these extra angle iron, or piece of metal at least, around the front, and I think it'll go on the sides of this frame. Once that is done, we're still not quite ready to get the sheet metal roofing guys back. The builder wants to finish the plastering on all the columns first. So I think we might still have a day or three to go before that roof team B comes back. Canopy was asking about a dog update. Here's Rafa. Probably, compared to the last time you saw her, she's doubled in size and double the energy. If I can catch her, That's Gigi. Size of a horse. Gigi can run. Brake in here. You're not going to be faster than G is. And Bronny, if anything, is even faster. And this is Bronny, the maddest of the bunch. I don't think I've ever seen a dog run this fast. Well, apart from greyhounds. For any of you gardeners. Here's our compost bins. This one we've been topping up basically daily because it does subside quite a bit as it breaks down, although it's breaking down fairly slowly. We do have some heat in this one now, showing at the moment 80 degrees. And this one, which we turned, what was that, a week ago? Right now is about 100 degrees, so turning it definitely reintroduced heat into this one. The next step in the garden will be to clear this area. So these remaining tree stumps, they'll be moved out the way. Then we're going to try to basically get it as flat and level as we can. And then I'm thinking I'm going to cover it with a thin level of gravel, because on top of that we're going to be building the raised beds, or at least some of the raised beds. And I'm a bit concerned that if I just put a raised bed using concrete hollow blocks that maybe is, I can't remember, 3 or 4 blocks high, I think we might get a bit of subsidence, which we might be able to limit a little bit by putting down some gravel. So that'll be a process that starts in a little while. It kind of depends on when the builder can remove these remaining tree stumps. But I'm kind of excited about that. We're still a long way from having, quite a long way from having finished compost. And I do need that before we can start even thinking about growing anything, because this soil at the surface level is awful. So that's what we're going to be doing here over the next several months. It's going to take me forever to build the raised beds that I would like to have. It's about an hour after lunch, and we'll start here at the pool, where they are working on the bridges, getting those surfaces covered, ultimately with the pebble dash and the darker coloured cement. Once again, I was wrong. I misunderstood. They have done the bench. They're not doing the floor today, but the bench looks good. When I was just filming that bridge bit, Singing Marvin shouted across to me, so I better come over here and have a look. So Oliver's just putting some forms around this entrance, and inside the dark and dingy room we have plaster almost all done. Before lunch they plastered the vertical part of this step. You're witnessing a momentous first. I'm going to walk up our ramp. Was that thrilling or not? In the dark and echoey home theatre room, Richard's been busy. I think this must be the last couple of days. Plastering all across that lower wall and up around the door. All done. In the kitchen, Rico and Lito are working on cabinet bases again. Well, the structure of the cabinets. So we're starting to get the outline of this one, with getting ready for preparing to pour concrete in the top once they built the structure underneath. And the engineer came to see me a little while ago and said, "How big are the sinks? What size are they?" I said, "I have no idea." So I think tomorrow we're going sink shopping. One of our electricians, Mr. Jesse Bamba, where he is a lot of the time, up a ladder, playing with orange piping, here just by the stairs. I spoke to Wency, one of the roof frame guys, a little while ago, and he said, definitely finished today. I think most of what they were doing was a little bit more red oxide paint. May have been a little bit more welding going in, but not much. It was so exciting. I'm going to walk back down again. Oh, the thrills you get on this channel. After that burst of activity, after the bell yesterday with the soffits, absolutely nothing going on with them today. Confirmation. The metal frame guys just said, frame, yadi, finish. Which means that if I understood right, we're now waiting on Marvin to finish the plaster on the 4 columns. There's quite a bit still to do. I don't think that's going to be done in the next few hours today. I'm not even sure he'll be able to get it all finished tomorrow. There was a comment, and I'm really sorry, I've forgotten who it was, but I will put it on the screen. Somebody a couple of days ago said he hadn't noticed any sign of outside outlets or faucets, or if you're English, taps, and sockets. And I had forgotten about that. It was in the plan, the builder did have it in the plan, but we hadn't worked out where. Well, yesterday morning after we saw that comment, we wandered around the house and we will have a number of outside outlets and faucets. Basically, not quite, but pretty much one on each side of the house, one of each on each side of the house. Plus, there'll be one over on the side wall of the storage room. Also, 2 or 3 days ago, this was the window that I said was one of the very last that needed some finishing. The sill needed to be built up. Ron was working on it now. The bell has gone. Now they're back working on soffits, which apparently they term spandrel. And in answer to another question that popped up in the comments, they are UPVC. So they are working on soffits, but basically they've just removed all the ones they put in last night. Some kind of adjustment going on. Here is the first part of the pebble dash that we've asked them to use, which uses that darker cement. I think it's going to look good. We won't know for sure until they clean all of these surfaces, and I believe they'll use muriatic acid to clean this all out. It's only then that we'll be able to see all these surfaces together and see whether we've made a huge mistake or actually it works. Fingers crossed. Work beginning on soffits over on the storage room and carport. The metal frame everywhere now finished. I am going to try tomorrow to clarify what else is it that needs to be done before roof team B comes back in to put the metal sheets on. If I understood correctly, it was plastering all of these 4 columns, but that on its own is still going to be, it's not going to be done in a day. I don't know how long it'll take, but I also wonder whether they will want to do the plaster on the columns that support the balcony and the balcony roof over here, because they butt right up against this frame as well. This could be a number of days before that roof team comes back in. I will try to get the answer tomorrow. Inside the kitchen, this is where Rico and Lito were working and edging us a little closer towards pouring the concrete for the countertop. And then for this particular set of cabinets, if I remember correctly, it will extend right up to the ceiling, as a few of them will in this kitchen, with quite a big niche in the middle, just above the countertop, where we'll have, I'm not sure yet, but maybe the coffee maker or the bread maker or kettle or whatever. Hopefully that'll look good, but for now, just edging towards these concrete countertop. That's the end of the day. And I'm going to ask a question which may or may not get any attention because it's the end of the video and I know a lot of people drop out by this point. But one thing I noticed on the channel statistics is that in the last 28-day period, we're up to about 15% female viewers. And in the last 7 days, it's above 20%. at the risk of huge stereotyping, can I ask you ladies, what is bringing you to this channel and making you watch? It clearly isn't my rugged good looks and fabulous wit and charm, because I don't have any of those. What is it about this as a building channel that's got you to come on board? I'd love to know, because I'd like to do more of whatever it is. But for tonight, that's it. We're done. See you tomorrow.